Three. Welcome to Egg Foo What, the first and only podcast about people eating stuff. I'm Mike Lisk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another episode of Egg Foo. What? Young Michael, how was your week?
It's a tedious, dreary existence.
And we're off.
what do you want me to sugarcoat it? We can't sugarcoat it.
You know what?
It is what it is. I'm dealing with it day to day. I mean, the pressures are different day to day. The main struggle is just getting my father to eat on a regular basis, which you would think would be like a simple thing, but it's not. It's very difficult. And then I feel guilty when he walks away from the table without eating enough, because I'm trying to provide the most basic things and getting resistance. So, not easy.
I think that's what they were saying about a young Michael Lisk back in circa 1962-ish.
Yeah,
Well, can I be inspired by your melancholy
okay.
to share myself?
Okay.
It has dawned on me recently. Maybe it's because of Valentine's Day. Like, I did a lot of talking about Valentine's Day, which I don't really normally care about.
Uh-huh.
But for decades now, I've gotten used to the idea, well, I'm just never gonna be married or find my soulmate or whatever. And it never really bothered me. I just never really thought of it. I don't know if it was always like, oh, well, there's plenty of time. Or if I feel like I'm watching some movie and everybody else is in it and they're all starring in it and they're all married and they found their true loves or whatever. And I'm just watching that as a spectator. But I don't know if it's because I hit a recent age milestone recently, but it's really starting to bother me. I'm like, well, shit, maybe this isn't normal. Like, you know.
Well, 50, I remember 50 is, they
Whoa,
talk about
whoa, Mike.
what?
30.
30. No, but I remember that being like, the one that finally kind of hit hard, because then you're sort of, you're in the middle. You're beyond the middle, actually. And now, like, what's happening? In my 50s were more hectic than my 20s, I think.
Well, I mean, I've always been, you know, sad and depressed and lonely enough in a normal way. But this whole, you know, never find my true love or never find a companion even,
Mm-hmm.
just recently has hit me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if I was thinking like subconsciously in the back of my head, like I was going to go through these 50 years of, being a loser and never finding anybody. And then it's like, it's the end of the episode. Everybody claps. And then like, all right, Greg, we're just joking. And, here's your wife and you're going to be together forever, happy, blah, blah, blah. And then, I just seem to have snapped out of some weird thing. All of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell's wrong with me? This isn't,
I don't think there's anything wrong with you. Actually, around me, I know a lot of people who are, I have friends who were married. I have a friend who's a widower, recent widower. They didn't have kids, so he's alone in his 60s. I have another friend. He was married. He's divorced. He didn't have any kids. And he's kind of in the same sort of free floating existence as me and my other friend. I know just lots of people in my, I hate the word, but like network of friends, are single without kids. Uh, the without kids thing, I think, may hit even harder than the spouse, in my mind, because I
Mm,
mean, I don't know, having kids is probably the meaning of life on the most basic
eh,
level, you know.
that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but
Especially at this point. Like at this point, volleyball players from UCLA. Uh, so if I did have find
what was that?
someone,
You got cut off there.
oh
All I heard was volleyball players from UCLA. I did.
yeah, you got it. That's it. That's all you need. No, no, I was saying, I was like, I forget what my original point was, but like, even if I met someone tonight, I'm not gonna be dating some 21-year-old volleyball player from UCLA.
No.
Probably gonna be dating someone my age. They probably already have kids. They're done with kids, or that
Yeah.
window has shut anyway.
Yeah.
Like I'm not looking for kids at this point.
Hmm.
I've got my own empire of children I love dearly. I'm not looking for my own. I got my own little empire of children. I
Hmm.
love them all. They're
Yeah.
fantastic, and I don't have to care about how they pay for college. So it's
Uh-huh.
perfect.
Yeah.
But I am miss. I have to say I'm missing the woman companion thing. I have to
Mm.
admit, which I've never really truly thought. I want to say accepted, but it never really occurred to me. I was just always like, it'll be fine. I'll this, I'll that. But now I don't know if the big 5-0 all of a sudden the meter started running or
Do you even look at the, I mean, my experience is very brief as it was with online dating. Do you even look into that or
when you said you even look at, I was really hoping you'd say porn.
no, no, no.
Yeah, I do Bumble, and it's I don't know.
Which ones have you experimented with? I said, one of my friends said he liked fish in the sea or something. What the hell is it called?
I don't know, but
Too
if
many fish. I don't know what the hell they are.
not enough fish, isn't that the
Not,
problem? Isn't that why there's dating apps in the first place?
I don't know. I don't
I don't
know.
know. But you listen to TV shows. I don't know. It's just TV. It's like everybody's like just just swatting women off of them from the dating apps, just
Hmm.
shedding them like skin.
Uh-huh.
Too much, too much, wearing themselves out. I'm like, I'm not having any of that experience. It's always like, oh my god, this smoking hot chick showed up at my apartment at 4 in the morning. Oh Jesus. See, okay, well that's I get the ones where it's the pictures. It's like, well, which woman is it? Is it the mother looking one or so? Oh,
Yeah, I think
okay.
I'm sort of past the point of even um considering, a mate for
You are
the last couple legs of my life.
you always say the
Who
right
wants to
thing,
be
Mike.
part of the
Yeah.
the downward spiral?
You always
Uh,
say the right you always say the right thing, Mike.
was that the right thing?
That's the right thing to
I
say.
mean, who wants to, I don't want to pull anybody down with me. I have friendships with some of the women I've dated in the past, and they're nice. It's just nice that we parted ways, but we're friends, and we can still talk regularly. Frankly, I think I'm getting very near to the physical
Mhm.
decline.
Yes, talk to me.
Which is like, yeah, once the physical decline happens, it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, then it becomes absurd actually. I remember one of my patrons at one of the bars, you hear all sorts of things about people's relationships and so on. He was a little younger than me. Actually, he passed away. Another casualty from my years in the bartending business. But he was a really nice guy. And he was very very candid about, he was sort of in a relationship, but they didn't live together. They lived like around the block from each other. But he would just sort of joke about how at his age, and I guess he was in his mid 50s. It would be just sort of comical, uh, the bedroom choreography, with the bodies in the advanced ages. And I think that's pretty accurate. That past a certain point, it does become absurd, particularly when you're past the age of really um, having a child. So it's just the physical act for the intimacy. I mean, intimacy is important, but I think after a certain point, people just sort of they acknowledge the ridiculousness of that at that age. I'm not painting a bright future for you, am I?
Good God.
you know,
Wow. Wow.
you caught me by surprise. Usually, you're full of vinegar and the optimism, which I like.
well, yeah. Well, that now you come out and outsad me. You should work at suicide hotlines.
I don't know if I could outside you though. I mean,
Sure you can.
yeah, okay.
I had a blog post years ago about how I should be work at a suicide hotline. People call up and I'd be like, "You what? That's all?
Yeah,
You're so sad
yeah,
about that? Let me tell you
yeah.
about my life, buddy."
Yeah, I think now that you mention it, yeah, I could probably be pretty good at that. You know, you'd have a few quips you'd work into the conversation.
You as a suicide prevention, the old Mike Lisk would have been like, do it, fuck it, do it.
I don't think it pays very well.
Committing suicide? No,
No, no, the suicide hotline.
I don't know.
I'm sure
But
you have
you,
to be
you,
trained
you
though.
should you should look into that because a couple of minutes ago I was really bummed, and now all I can think about are these other people
Uh-huh.
that you've described, and I'm like, shit.
It's not a pretty picture out there.
I think it
But
was the
then you hear the other stories of just bad relationships and horror stories, and you're like, well, at least I didn't have that experience.
Yeah, but then I'm like, you look at some dudes, and then you look at the women they're with, and you're like, yeah, how did they even get that far?
Uh-huh.
Like you can say, oh, it sucks now, and they're this and that, but you look at this guy, and you're like, what? But
Yeah.
maybe I need to now that I seem to have stepped out of some fog of unconsciousness. Maybe 2023, I need to try to actively make it happen
Hmm.
instead of, yeah, I did say 2022 was going to be the year of me, and it was.
The year
So
of me.
that's right.
When is there a year not of me? You know,
It's a good question, Michaelis.
the year of you.
That's right. So
Here's an
maybe
here's an idea.
2023 should be the year of
Uh,
we, as in me and my one true love.
uh-huh.
And then
Here's an
I'll find
idea.
her and then get hit by a bus.
I mean, I've never been in a book club before, but have you ever considered? Because I think it does tend to probably draw more women than men. So I'm thinking a book club might be a good ratio for a suave, debonair guy like yourself.
Yeah. Book club
And so,
is a book club
get
is always
involved. Plus, you got two books you've written.
book club is always the first idea anybody ever has for single dudes. Do we
Is
not
it?
assume
Yeah, I
women
don't even
out there
know.
are hip to this?
Uh
And anytime they're in a book, some dude comes walking in their book club, they're not going to be like, "Oh, here we go."
huh.
Or do we think that they know the game and they're part of the game, and that's fine with them?
I think it's part of the game for older singles.
Yeah.
More mature. They don't want to hang out at a bar, right?
No.
Um, like I said, you've got the upper hand with two books
Yeah.
under your belt.
Oh, and I'm taller.
You're tall. You're a
I can
tall
lift
guy.
100 pounds straight over my head.
Uh-huh. I mean, I don't even know how to get into a book club. I mean, do bookstores have like, is there a
Well,
bookstore near
good luck
you?
finding a bookstore.
Yeah, well, that's yeah. I mean, you don't even have a bookstore near you.
I'm all Amazon. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember the last bookstore I went into.
You don't even have Barnes and Noble near you.
All right, lose the attitude, Mike. We don't need to. I get it.
Well, they're generally around. I mean, I had two near me. I had actually, I think I had three.
Oh,
But one of
excuse
them,
me.
but the one nearest me just went under. So we're down to two.
Hmm.
Um, you don't have one of those nearby?
Maybe I haven't really looked.
Uh-huh.
I bet on Craigslist, which is a word I haven't said in the last 10 years, but I think still exists. I bet you they have a book club section.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Probably, yeah.
but is it weird or not weird? You do meet your soulmate at 50, and it's a bit of a bummer because you both have had this whole life
Yeah.
without each other.
But here's the upside of that.
Talk to me, Mike, Dr. Mike. Sing to me.
When you're in your 20s
Uh-huh.
and you're on the prowl,
Glory, glory,
you're on the prowl,
hallelujah. Preach it,
but
Mike.
you don't have any experiences.
Glory,
So
glory, hallelujah.
so your conversations are
Oh,
limited, right?
glory, hallelujah. Mike's truth is marching on.
But
I get that. Right
as
before
a
I started singing the last line, it occurred to me. I was like, "Oh shit, do I know what this line is?"
but as a mature man,
Mm.
you've got lots of experiences.
Oh
So
yeah.
I would think that you've got a lot of catching up to do if you meet this potential soulmate, and you're going to be more impressive than somebody, like than you would have been in your 20s where you had like no experience and
Okay. Well,
you're just a horny dude.
let's put a pin in that thinly veiled insult for a second. Um, but yeah, it is on one hand, it is a bummer. Like you picture someone's been married for 40 years and like almost without talking, they're like, "Oh, remember that time you stole an ice cream cone from Jimmy Shit Barnes' shack when we were 19?" Yeah, you have these collective memories,
Right,
whereas you don't have that when you meet when you're older.
right.
Uh, I'm not saying that's not going to make me want to be with someone.
Hmm.
It's just a little, different.
Yeah. Now, somebody on Twitter posted something about introducing yourself with 7 books.
Yes.
And I saw your list. Um, it's a good list. You got your 2 books right at the
Well,
top, which makes
my,
sense, right?
my first, I was being cheeky, Mike. I was being cheeky.
Well, no, it's true, but hey, you've written books, so you can introduce yourself with your own books.
That's right.
And then the next ones, yeah, I mean, Grapes of Wrath,
No,
Frankenstein, we
yeah,
discussed recently,
yeah.
both great books. This other book you had, I'm not familiar with. I guess it's an Irish history book, Paddy's Lament.
Super, super good guess there, Mike.
Well, no, I Googled it. I looked it up.
That's what I was reading that book as I was saying, thanks, but no thanks. I don't want to go. I can't be bothered to go see the Pogues on what happened to be the last night Kirsty McCall ever joined them on stage to sing Fairy Tale in New York. I was reading Paddy's Lament.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
When was the last time? When was the last time? When was that?
that would have been 2000 maybe.
2000? Where did you see them?
I think it was at Irving Plaza, and I
Okay.
was all curled up at that bar next door reading Paddy's Lament. And yeah, I was like, nah, I'm cool. I'll go next time.
Really?
And let me tell you something, Mike Lisk. There was no next time.
Mhm.
Damn it, Mike Lisk, live your life.
I mean, I did see the Pogues. I guess it was after that, at Roseland. I saw the Pogues a couple of times. It was always
Yeah,
somewhat disappointing.
yeah,
They played at the Guinness Flaw a couple times, and you'd wait. They were always late.
yeah,
So you've got this extra hour, sometimes half hour at least,
at least.
just standing in this crowd of people, just getting amped up. And then he'd come out, and he was so drunk.
Yeah.
You're like, how how is this going to be even going to happen?
And all he has to do is sing,
Right.
and still couldn't do it.
I mean, talk about wasted talent there. I mean, that is like probably one of the saddest.
Is well, would you say he's a waste of talent, or do you look at him and think, well, we probably got about all that we were going to get out of him? Like I look at Johnny Thunders, that was a waste of talent.
Hmm. No, I think Shane McGowan is a bigger waste of talent because pretty much, I mean, he was a great songwriter, you know, and then they just ended. He's not really writing new material. He hasn't written new material in how long?
Oh
It's
god,
been quite a while.
yeah,
Um, I mean, the last time I saw them at Roseland, I think, and he actually performed in a wheelchair.
yeah, yeah.
Were you at that one?
I
That
don't.
was that was the one where our friend. It was St. Patrick's Day.
No, no, I was babysitting that when our
Oh, are you?
friend got kicked out
Yeah, our friend,
of a Pogue
our
show
friend got
on
kicked out of
St.
a Pogue
Patrick's
show.
Day
Yeah,
in New York City.
her birthday.
Uh,
Yeah, that was.
that was impressive.
We've got to get her on the show. I mean, she's got to
That was
verify and discuss some of these
that
these
was
stories.
impressive. Get kicked out of a Pogue show on St. Patrick's Day
And her
for being.
birthday. It is her birthday.
Yeah, well, I don't think they cared about that, but
Well, no, I mean,
I mean
on her end,
that's nice of you, but
it,
I
it,
don't think they gave a
it
shit.
was a birthday that, well, I'm sure she'll never
What
forget
else?
that.
What else was on my list? My book list?
Oh, then you had, we've discussed in the past, I guess it's a bold choice now to include a Woody Allen book
Oh, I am
now that
bold.
he's without feathers.
Without feathers. Sorry, not sorry.
uh Now that he's a public menace. And the collected works of Neil Simon,
Yes.
which is, but then you corrected it. So which book are you throwing out for your Eric Kraft?
Well, I do have aircraft in there.
Well, you amended your original post
Oh, I see. I see.
and you said you left off your number
That's
one.
right.
You're saying the Eric
That's right.
Kraft book, uh, the personal history, adventures, experiences, and observations of Peter Leroy.
Yeah. I think the other one I took off was Great Expectations.
Uh-huh.
I had to pick between that and Tale of Two Cities, or I would say Remembrance of Things Past, but you like to call it Our Sure de Temps Perdu. So I did Great Expectations.
I tried to. I actually own that Eric Kraft book, and I tried to read it. I just couldn't get into it. I didn't realize that he's continued this for
Mhm.
several more volumes. Right?
Oh yeah, it's like been a whole universe.
Are you up to date on all of them? Have you read them
No,
all?
I can't. It's too much. He's created this universe. Like he does a newsletter and he's always pumping out new stuff. Yeah, I can't keep up with it. So
And I
I kind of keep this thing constrained to the Peter Leroy book that I list in my comment.
Is he trying to be a an American Proust? I mean, is he using
Well,
lots of his
Proust,
own life for that stuff?
well, Proust, if you read Proust was a huge influence on his writing,
Mhm.
which he and I talked about when I met him in college.
Okay.
Uh, and he was a huge influence on my writing. So, thusly, by transitive theory of action, you could say that I had a influence on Proust, which I am flattered that anybody would think so. Thank you.
You took a
But
course
yeah,
with him?
he's been pumping out books over the years, and God bless him.
You took a course with him, or he was just a speaker there?
He just came and spoke in one of my classes. Over the years he had become friends with a professor,
Uh-huh.
and so he came and talked to us. So
So
what are your 7 books?
yeah, I tried to pick books that, aren't just like straight up classics. I'm trying to think of books that were like really sort of I felt a sort of personal connection to.
Yeah.
Like the first book, Roddy Doyle, Patty Clark, Ha Ha Ha. Have you read that book?
Uh-uh.
You would love that book.
Don't tell me what I would love, Mike.
You would love this book.
Roddy Doyle. Wow.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, you've heard of him, right? The
I know Roddy
Commitments.
Doyle. Yeah.
He's had some popular successes. Actually, I think this book may have won an award or two, Booker
Which one?
Prize.
Which one?
It may have won the Patty Clark Ha Ha Ha.
I did read The Commitments 100 years ago.
Uh-huh. But
All
this
right.
book,
You know what? I'm putting that in my list, Mike list.
and it's short. It's not even a heavy duty.
Oh, that's good because I'm stupid.
Yeah, that's why I said it was
That's
short.
helpful for me,
Uh,
a dim and slow reader.
I'll say this:
Uh-oh.
this book.
Is it your number one favorite book or?
No, no, it's not. I put these books because yeah, they're not like sort of just straight up classics that everybody would know, but they're
Right.
books that like when I read them, I'm like, wow, this is really sort of I'm having like a real personal connection with that book. I thought that's got like the best depiction
Excuse me.
of a boy's life I've ever read.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just so many things in it you can relate to. I mean, this is in Ireland, but it's so universal. I felt like, wow, this is very this rings true to my own experiences. So I had, a real connection with it on that level.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm. That's cool.
Hunger is just uh, a sort of starving artist tale. Newt Hampson and
That was going to be the name of your autobiography. I was going to do that. Mike Lisk, Hunger.
but yeah, it's very well done, just sort of getting that desperation across. So that I could relate to it during my more desperate moments.
Mm.
Same with Jesus's son, Dennis Johnson. I just think that's a great.
All your titles are frightening. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, this is yeah. I mean, I'm introducing myself. I'm laying myself bare that like, hey,
Mhm.
it hasn't been all you
Mhm.
know roses.
Mm-mm.
you know,
Kitten tattoos and roses.
oh, that's a good one.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, kitten tattoos and
You got to
roses.
be this tall to ride on the Mike Lisk ride.
Uh-huh.
There have
So,
some years put on this bonnet.
and something happened. Joseph Heller, everybody knows Catch 22, right? This was his
Yeah.
second book. Now this book just really sort of gets, just sort of you're talking about like here's a book about a guy who seemingly has everything. He's married, he's got a job, and he's got kids, and it's just he can't take it anymore. It's just like this book, when you read it, it's like you can't believe how he can keep it going. And it's a long book. It's he just keeps going with it. And it's kind of as you're reading it, you're like, oh my God, he keeps finding new gears to ratchet up the desperation of
Is it anything like this introduction?
yeah, it's sort of like that. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. In a fan's notes, Fred Exley, have you heard of any of these books? Or these are all foreign to you?
I've heard of the Roddy Doyle one.
Uh-huh.
I've never heard of Hunger. And what's the third one? Jesus sucks or something terrible?
Jesus' Son.
Jesus is son.
There was
Oh,
a movie
God.
made of that one. I mean, it's not that bad, actually.
We should rip it off and write one ourselves. God's grandson.
Uh-huh. A fan's
Oh,
notes,
geez. Sorry,
I
Mike.
could relate to the drinking and
What's the name of this one?
a fan's notes.
Uh-huh.
It's about, sort of a middle-aged man, again, sort of hitting maybe a dead end,
Mm-hmm.
but he's hanging on, and he becomes a desperate football fan. There's some humor in there. McTeague, I thought maybe you would have read that one.
Mm-mm.
Frank Norris.
Mm-mm.
That's just like a great story with kind of absurd characters. The same with Death on the Installment Plan. That's just a very funny and bleak book.
So this is hello. Nice to meet you. I am Mike Lisk. What do you think of the books I introduced you to? You are speaking to the back of me as I sprint away from you to the bus station. Bleak, bro. So
But fun, but
none
fun.
of our
There's
books.
there's humor in there. There's humor in there
We have
too.
no books crossing streams here.
No, but I have read 3 of your books.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, actually, I read 5. What am I talking about? I read your books.
Right.
I can't leave your books out.
That makes
So
that does make you better than me.
So I
I
read
apologize.
5 of your 7.
I apologize.
I mean, the collected works of Neil Simon, though. Come on. Yeah, your Neil Simon fixation is.
What?
I don't know. I
You
mean,
know who else has a Neil Simon fixation?
oh,
America.
America. I don't know about that.
Are you kidding?
Are they still putting his plays on?
No.
No.
But they did for 50 years. I mean,
Uh-huh.
he ruled Broadway for a decade.
Uh-huh.
It's not like I found some scrappy little indie rocker
Uh-huh.
that I alone am obsessed about. Shame on you, Mike West.
What's wrong with Eugene O'Neill?
I like Eugene O'Neill.
Oh, okay.
What, the other 90 billion books written, not on the list, you're going to yell at me now?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, if you're gonna pick
you don't like Jim Davis? You don't like Garfield Weighs In? You too good? Too good to Jim Davis?
You're gonna pick a playwright, at least give
I
us
did.
something.
Neil Simon.
Neil Simon. It's just such a lightweight.
Oh my
It's just
God.
like light entertainment.
Well, I like it. Excuse me, Michaelis. Light entertainment. I'm sorry. Has The Odd Couple not lifted the spirits of millions of people?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he didn't write the television series.
Who gives a shit?
Okay.
He didn't write the television series.
He wrote one play.
Yeah, well, that's The Odd Couple.
Yeah, it's all right.
Well, without that, there would have been no
It's fine.
series.
It's fine. I can't say the same thing for Yang Chow fried rice.
Or as I like to call it, fried rice.
Yeah, I think we're gonna find out who was more disappointed by this. When I saw it on my menu, I was like, "What the hell is that?" Because I'd never seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
And my menu had also had house special fried rice. So, I took a look to see what this dish looks like online. And I'm like, well, what makes that different than house special fried rice, which has all the proteins together? Your
Mhm.
pork, your shrimp, and your chicken.
And what did you find out, Michaelis?
I found out the only difference that I
Mhm.
could tell is
Mhm.
that it's
Mhm.
like white rice rather
Mhm.
than brown rice. And there seemed to be more egg in mine than normal house special fried rice.
I like egg in my fried rice. I've noticed.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
And actually, I like when you have the option of egg fried rice. I think we had this conversation before.
Yeah, I need to remember. I never think to ask for more egg.
Uh-huh. But so I didn't really notice anything that different than what I would have got with the house special fried rice.
No. Yeah.
So, a big disappointment there. My rice was kind of sticky to make matters worse.
See, I
Uh,
like sticky rice. I don't mind
you
sticky rice.
like the sticky rice?
I don't mind sticky rice.
No, really? Okay. I like it slippery.
Boy, the disappointment in your voice right now. Jesus.
And for some reason, I got an extra pint of white rice.
Oh.
When I saw the extra pint of rice, I'm like, "What the hell? What was this for?" I think somebody probably got shortchanged the rice. Looked like it was kind of busy up there, and
Hey,
I think
hey,
somebody
hey, fuck them.
somebody got the wrong order.
Doggy dog world,
I
Michaelis.
guess it is, yeah.
Let them get their own fucking rice. You got yours. Well, and theirs.
So when I saw there was shrimp in this, I figured you weren't going to get it, But
Well, so I like, huh. So I bebop through my old Uber Eats app because I'm a baller. And out of like the 9 or 10 restaurants I checked, only one place had quote unquote Yang, whatever,
yeah, it's not
something rice.
easily found.
Right. So
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I looked and they had a picture and I was looking at it, I was like, gee, it kind of looks like fried rice. But I was like, well, it must be. And then I saw it had shrimp, chicken, and ham.
ham.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I should get it as it is, do the right thing, but I can't do that. So I'm like, maybe I'll just ask. I'll say, can I get this with no shrimp?
Mm.
And then I started thinking, well, I don't really want fucking ham on my fried rice either. Like, who gets ham in their fried
Yeah,
rice?
no, that's
So I
weird.
was like, if I'm gonna have them not put the shrimp in, why not just leave out the disgusting ham too?
Mm.
So I was like, all right, well, it's chicken, and let's see what happens. And for all I know, they're gonna say, "Fuck you." This is what Yang rice is.
Uh,
You get the shrimp, you get the, and yeah, it shows up, and I'm looking at it like, I think this is just chicken fried rice.
well,
There was nothing distinctive about it
mhm.
at all. And
Yeah.
then, and I hadn't looked up what it was before. So then I was like, well, let me look. And then I looked up, and yeah, it was like Yang whatever rice, sometimes called house special.
Oh, at least they acknowledged it. On
Yeah,
my menu, I have both. That's why I found
yeah.
it
Oh
intriguing.
no, no, no. This is what Wikipedia said. Yeah.
Okay.
No, the Chinese restaurant was not quite as
Uh,
forthcoming. But yeah, so I tucked into what was some delightful chicken fried rice. Uh but yeah, ham is weird. Like I don't know if I've ever seen ham pop up
no,
on anything, right?
no, that hasn't come across
That's out of fucking order, Mike List.
any of our dishes.
That is out of bounds.
Uh-huh.
No, thank you. What would you score it?
Yeah, it was disappointing. I mean, I don't know, 5. I mean, I backed it up with some soup,
Back it
because
up.
this is the place with the great fried the real fried noodles that you get with the soup.
Oh
So I
yes.
always I'm literally getting this soup just so I can get those noodles.
You know what? You're not crazy.
No, I'm not.
I guess you
Um,
I guess you could just ask for the noodles. Maybe to them it's no big deal, but
Yeah. Oh, actually, they sell them.
yeah, I bet you can get it for like $1 or something.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I don't even feel like grading mine because like I think I'm just grading chicken fried rice,
Yeah. Which
which
we covered this already, right?
yeah, we covered it.
Uh-huh.
Chicken fried rice, great. Okay. If you had taken 8 seconds into an exhaustive Wikipedia search, we could have avoided this, but you didn't want to put in the work, so I get it. You just you just wanted to point to and agree on the first thing you saw, so you can get back to doing whatever you're doing. I get it.
Well,
Yeah.
that was a first.
Oh boy, but not the last.
I hope it's the last. This is the first episode that I've ever had to pause
Oh boy,
because of a gastrointestinal event, which I just had. So,
that you just had.
yeah, I just had. We didn't have it simultaneously,
Okay.
but this may be a warning to you, although you didn't have exactly what I had.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to dock Yang Chow fried rice to a 4
For destroying your bathroom.
for yeah, for causing me to break the flow.
Oh,
Uh, and it was a first. That's never happened before. Uh,
are we beating around the bush, or are we hoping people picked up on what just happened? Or
yeah, I think it's clear. It's clear.
are we sure it's clear?
I
I
think
don't
it
know if
is.
it's clear.
I think gastrointestinal event is a classy way of putting what just happened. Again, the first time it's ever interrupted an episode.
Could be
Usually,
could be worse though, because if I'm listening, I could think that you were just sitting there and let it happen.
no, it was
Maybe,
urgent.
maybe some honesty here, Mike, for the first
It,
time.
it, it was urgent. I had to wait patiently for you to finish a
Yeah,
thought,
right.
so I could pause the show.
Yeah,
The first in our history,
yeah.
because usually we
So,
just let it go.
so
We
that you
you
could
know
have your gastrointestinal event.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why we don't have any women in our lives
Listeners,
right now. It's a
I'll say
mystery.
this. So that's a little warning. That's warning number one.
There's another
Uh,
one.
well, warning number two is that yeah, it's house special fried rice. So if you see both of them on your menu,
Yes.
uh, go with the house special fried rice. I think that's the more honest representation of this
Yeah.
dish.
Yang whatever rice is bullshit. There. Is it price differently? Did you see a price difference?
The weird thing was that I had to buy a large.
Fuck you, China. Why are you doing this to me, China?
Yeah,
You get
yeah,
me
yeah.
fucking worked
No,
up,
this
China.
so this was a little bit of
I was
a
trying to be nice, China.
yeah. Whereas if I went with the house special fried rice, I could have got the small container. I didn't have an option, which doesn't make any sense for for fried rice. Why? You know,
No,
I mean,
no,
there weren't any other special ingredients in there that would, you know, make them force it upon you like that. And now I've got, yeah, I've got another pint of leftovers for tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to eat it, but yeah, this was kind of disappointing. I thought I had found some new hidden treasure,
nope.
and no, I found a hidden con. I got
Con.
con, as in
Oh, like a con.
yeah, con,
Oh,
not a comic con.
I think we found some bullshit, is what we found.
But that's what this show is good for, right? We're
We
we're
are
we're going
exposing. Hey, look, if the politicians won't do it, Mike Lisk and Greg Wilson will do it. We are
exactly.
exposing
Yeah.
China's bullshit.
People said journalism is dead. That
Nope.
that journalists today just are shills for either political party,
Yeah.
nothing more.
I'll say it for the both of us in 3 words. You're welcome, America.
we're, we're doing
We'll
the
do
hard
what
work.
Washington refuses to do, take on big China. Calling them out on their big bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get let's see if we can get what's his name? Z on the podcast next week.
Yeah. All right. Work on
What's their
that.
president's name? Z?
Does he
Got it?
have a Twitter account?
Trump's boyfriend.
Hit him up. Hit him up on Twitter.
All right. All right. I'll fucking you think I'm scared to tweet the
No, I'm
Chinese
not. I'm
president?
not scared. I know you're not scared.
I'll look. This is gonna be in your face, but I don't even know if he's president.
uh,
This is in your face, but I have no idea what style of government China even uses.
uh,
Blammo!
and it's senior leader or something. It's yeah. It's a different. I don't think it's president.
Chinese food near me. No, leader. Yeah, Zai, but I
Z
think it's pronounced Z, right?
Z.
Yeah, oh, he's gonna be 70 soon. Come on, Z. This is you're running out of
That's a hard
time.
looking 70.
Yeah, like Z, you're running out of time to make a difference and get this bullshit straight before you check out on this earth. I don't know what your father and his father and his father before him did, but you're 70, Z. You don't have a lot of time to straighten this shit out. But if you come on egg food, what? You will have your chance. I'll tweet that shit. You think I'm scared to tweet China?
I know you're not. I
Fuck
know you're
yeah,
not.
I'll tweet it. I don't give a shit.
I wanted to turn to a new segment that I'm calling "Food in the News."
Food in the nude?
Food. Well, actually, that's not far from the first story.
Oh.
Food in the news, and these are just stories I come across during the week where food is involved. Um, did you hear the latest? I mean, are you on TikTok?
No.
No, yeah, I'm not on TikTok either. But you see some of the
I
nonsense.
see videos popping up. Yeah.
Yeah, you see the videos pop up. It's
Yeah.
some dumb challenge or some dumb stunt. Well, the latest one is have you heard about people eating oranges in the shower?
What?
Yeah, exactly. That is the proper response. That
Might
is the
bliss
proper
out.
response.
Okay.
But what new form of nonsense are people indulging in now? Apparently,
Using showers?
eating oranges in the shower is a thing. I don't know if people are taking videos of themselves doing that.
Like, are they peeling the orange like normal and they eating it, or is
That's a
the
good
trick eating
question.
it while it's peeled? What?
They didn't address that issue. They said that somehow this is some sort of relaxing uh, thing to do, and that the warm water does something to the citrus that makes this some sort of spiritual experience. But I
All
just
right.
call bullshit on the whole thing.
Well, I mean,
It's
we recently had people eating Tide Pods,
right.
so this to me is a bit of a step up.
Yeah, at least it's food.
I've done dumber things than eating a orange in the shower.
Well, this is where I was going to take it with you.
I mean, I don't want
Uh,
to brag, but that's I don't want to brag, but that's not even in my top 10.
all right. Well, I'm glad I selected this for this very reason. I mean, first
All
off,
right.
I just want to ask you because I remember the layout of your residence when you lived at the warehouse. That the kitchen wasn't far from the shower.
Uh-huh.
So I was going to ask you, have you ever brought food into the shower before?
No.
Okay.
Plus the kitchen wasn't close. The kitchen was
I thought it was relatively close.
no, you might think that because the whole place was so open,
Yeah.
but it was still probably,
Yes.
50 feet or something.
The bathroom was
I don't know.
improvised at best, as I
All
recall.
right. All
Very,
right.
very narrow space.
Michael, if we're ever going to find their companions, we're not going to
a,
do it by tearing each other down.
a very narrow space.
I mean,
Yeah.
no, I have not there, nor I don't think it's ever occurred to me to eat in the shower.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Have you ever eaten in the
No,
shower?
no,
Okay.
no. Now you say you have more. It's not even in your top 10. What would be at the top of your top 10 then? Strange eating places.
Then the shower?
No, I mean, you said you had other things that were beyond that.
Yeah, I was, it's kind of being facetious.
Oh, okay. Well, how about eating in the car? Do you eat
I
in the
guess I
car?
guess you called me on my bullshit.
No, I thought you had something ready to go.
No,
I was ready to hand you the floor.
I'm just bullshitting.
Okay. But what about,
But
I
no, but
know.
no, orange in the shower is not the craziest thing I've ever heard of.
Okay.
It's not
I,
something I would think of, but I've heard of, you know, you can think of weirder things to do.
yeah. Well, in the other food in the news item, uh, Gene Hackman, I guess he's 93 years old,
Yeah,
and I guess he's somewhat reclusive these days.
yeah,
But they spotted him at a Wendy's. He bought a chicken sandwich and ate it in the parking lot.
classic.
But here's the thing, he's 93 years old. Come on, shouldn't somebody? He was driving.
Yeah,
I mean, we took the keys away from my father. When it just was
yeah,
not good anymore, and I would think somebody should do that for Gene Hackman. He can't get a driver to usher him around. Um, I don't know.
yeah.
It's just.
I'm not one of these people that loves driving or
Mhm.
cares about it. The second I could afford it, if I was a rich celebrity, I would just have a driver.
Yeah.
Uh, but for some reason, even at that age, I think people just like driving. I don't get it.
Oh, I get it. Well, I
It's
get it for
not my
the
thing.
your independence. You feel like you can still do it. But at
Yeah, but for
93,
Gene Hackman, eh, I mean, you're just as independent. You're just snapping your fingers and saying, "Drive me to Wendy's." Nobody's saying no to you.
right?
I mean, I understand most old people are not Gene Hackman,
Uh-huh.
uh, but in his case,
He did look very frail. I mean,
yeah,
he's my father's 89,
yeah,
and he's gotten very frail. I
yeah.
mean, I don't know if he's ever been this skinny in his life. It's he's underweight essentially. That's why
Uh,
it's so frustrating not being able to get him to eat food, because I know it's he's not at a healthy weight.
yeah.
But yeah, so Gene Hackman, yeah, he looked pretty frail, which is weird because the article said he's looking fit. He's looking fit. I mean, he was, yeah, he's thin.
I
Is,
mean,
is is thin always fit? I don't know. I don't know if you can say that.
would you be pretty pleased if somebody told you that at 93 you'd be able to drive yourself to Wendy's and get food and eat it and drive yourself home? You'd take that.
Yeah, no, I would. I don't know how mentally sharp he is. I know
Well,
he's.
I'd suggest he's pretty sharp because Wendy's has a great chicken sandwich.
All
So,
right.
yeah, no,
Yeah. I mean, and I guess nobody put the Uber app on his phone that he could do Uber Eats like yourself.
well, he's 1,000 years old.
Save himself the trip and the humiliation of eating the sandwich in the parking lot.
He's so old. He probably grew up back when you'd walk into a diner and say, "I would like a beer
Uh-huh.
and a slice of pie," and they just give you beer and pie. That's how old he is. So he doesn't care about no Uber Eats.
I know you have a special place in your
In my
heart
heart
for
for you,
him.
I do.
One of your favorite movies, right?
Coach Normandale. That's right.
Uh-huh.
93. Jesus.
Hoosiers. It's a good movie. I enjoyed that movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Could have stuck to the original story a little more closely, but
Oh, it's based on a book.
It's based on a true story.
Okay, all right. See, that's how out of the loop I am.
If you don't crack a book open, I swear to God. But it's typical because it's
Uh,
Hollywood. They can't just take the actual story, which is incredible, and just tell that story. They have to, get nervous and insert a romance,
oh yeah.
change details, even though it's sports, so it's pretty black and white, literally on film. And the reason we're watching is because you were so excited about it, but they feel the need to tinker with it. But even then, it's still amazing. So what are you gonna do?
There was another story. This is actually let's stick with the eating in the car. Do you regularly eat in the car? Is there any particular thing you eat in the car?
I
With
don't mind.
me, the only thing I eat in the car is McDonald's French fries because they've lost something by the time you get home.
Yeah, I mean, I don't drive, so I think what you're asking is because it's tricky if you're actually driving and eating,
Uh huh.
which I do remember doing.
Uh huh.
But no, I'm always happily in the passenger side, just stuffing my face. So I don't give a shit. Yeah, I'm not gonna go to the get a bucket of the Colonel.
But what are you breaking into? I mean, you're breaking into groceries. It's in
No,
somebody
no.
else's car, or
Yeah, I just go to random people's cars and breaks into their grocery bags.
uh,
Uh no, I usually do the old go through the drive-through. Oh, let me check and make sure they got everything right. And then I'm eating everybody's fries. Then I pass everything out. You want to be the guy in the passenger side passing everything out because then in the end you get the bag, and so you get all the French fries that are at the bottom of the bag that are falling out of the French fry holders. Uh, so then I swear I'm just gonna have like my sandwich and save my fries or whatever for when we get home because they're gonna be a little messier. And then of course instantly inhale everything within about 90 seconds and spend the rest of the trip home with my balled up greasy bag of fast food bag and feeling more disgusting than I had 2 minutes earlier, which is pretty hard to imagine. So that's every trip through the drive-through.
the other item in food in the news this week. I don't know if you saw this article about the St. Patrick's Day is coming up. They have something called the Blarney Blowout up at
Uh-huh.
University of Massachusetts,
Figures.
and they another yet another dumb TikTok trend is college students have come up with a drink they call the Borg, which is you basically take a gallon, empty gallon water, a gallon of water, empty it out, and then you fill it up with a fifth of alcohol, and then some water and some energy drink that supposedly reduces hangovers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but yeah, so you've got a fifth of alcohol in this thing, and it's I guess they share them,
Uh,
but they've got photos in this article where it looks like everyone's got their own, and then they'll name them, like one called hers the Soldier Borg. There's another one,
Soldier boy, he's
Justin
my little
Justin
soldier boy.
Justin Borgber.
Like you're being rude. I'm singing.
Yeah,
Justin Borberg. Were these college kids?
yeah, the college kids.
Okay. So
But
alcohol's been around for thousands of years. Man has been getting vicious hangovers for thousands of years and can never figure it out until a couple of scrappy college kids in this dorm said, "Fuck it, let's put some energy drinks in it," and then boom, no more hangovers.
well, it didn't work that well in this case because they had. Let me see the number. Uh,
42 deaths.
no, there were like 28 people that had to be taken to the hospital via ambulance.
Oh, well, that's just a bunch of
So,
wusses.
so yeah, the Borgs uh, took their toll. Um, but I don't know. I don't think we've seen the last of the Borgs.
I think we've seen the last of those kids in like every way possible.
Uh,
I don't think we're going to see them appearing in a couple of decades, leading their nation to victory in any way. What else? What's another food in the news? This is good.
this is the last one, and I have a feeling you'll. I think I know your response.
You don't know me, Michael.
Have you heard about the new plant-based Reese's and Hershey bars?
No.
No, they don't contain
Ooh,
milk.
Mike Lisk. Ooh.
Yeah, that was the response I was expecting.
Ugh.
I mean,
No, Mike
basically,
Lisk. No.
yeah, basically they're not using milk, So it's plant-based chocolate.
I mean, how much food are they getting out of the plants these days?
Yeah,
Can they just take plants and make anything?
hmm Yeah, they're getting us away
We're
from
making
the.
burgers. We're making chicken patties. Now
We're gonna all be eating bugs soon.
we'll be eating bugs. Everything. We can get milk out of almonds, burgers out of plants, or chocolate candy out of fucking plants.
Yeah,
I guess that's progress. I mean, the plants can't be
I
thrilled.
might try it just see what it's like.
Well, the only
But
time I've ever tried anything is when I did the Impossible Burger, the Whopper,
you tried one of those? Yeah, I never tried that.
and it was fine. It was great.
Yeah,
Like
really,
you would not, I could not have told the difference.
really. Okay.
So maybe if you can do this candy bar, so if it all tastes the same, then fuck it. Let's just make everything outside of plants.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that just means we're going to run out of plants soon enough, but I mean, it's not really our problem
Yeah.
or my children's problem since they'll never exist. See, I brought that back.
Oh wow, yeah, we went full circle there.
It's like Back to the Future when I said that a picture of my child just disappears from the frame.
You ever see the movie Marty?
No,
Oh,
that won the Oscar, right?
yeah, you should check it out. The way you're feeling, you should check out Marty. And actually, it's playing on. You may be able to catch it. This is the only. Well, I mean, TCM is generally good, but it's particularly good in March because they stick to Oscar winners because of the Oscar awards. So
All right, yeah,
yeah, so you're the ratio of really good movies it increases.
yeah.
So yeah, I DVR'd Marty the other night. I saw it was on I've
Is
seen
that
that movie.
Borgnine? Is that Borgnine?
Yeah, Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah. Oh, Ernest Borgnine. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What did you say?
I was just being an asshole.
Okay.
I said, "Is that Borgnine?" You said, Ernest Borgnine. I
Yeah.
said, "Oh,
Oh, okay.
oh, Ernest Borgnine."
Well,
Not his lesser known cousin,
for
Manny.
the audience, I clarify.
Oh, our audience, the dummies.
But after your opening monologue, I recommend Marty to you.
Okay.
Really good movie, but basically it's a analysis of loneliness. Ernest Borgnine is having trouble meeting the ladies. Still lives
Oh,
with his mom, and
yeah, yeah. I don't even think it's a. I mean, it is a problem with meeting the ladies, but I don't even think it's gotten to that point. I think I've just been living in this fog of watching everyone else, and I'm outside of it.
uh-huh.
Uh, yeah, I don't know, but I'll take that Marty recommendation.
Yeah, I think you'd like it.
Was it? Listen to me. Wasn't James Dean in no, I'm thinking of Giant.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's all right.
I disappointed you. You fucking hate me.
He only made 3 movies.
Hey, come on. He died. Don't
No, I know.
you're calling him lazy.
No, I'm not calling him lazy.
He got his.
No, but I mean, 3 for 3. He didn't do any bummers.
Just like
They,
what's his face?
they've held up.
Just like Fredo.
Yeah, Freno. Yeah.
All of his. Well, I mean, now that we're near the end here, I can come clean. I did not write my scene for our Cheers
Oh,
episode.
okay.
Uh,
I wasn't gonna put you on the spot. But I
well,
like that you came forward anyway.
thank you. I think it's an integrity move on my part. Uh, I totally forgot about it until today,
Hmm.
but then I was like, well, that's okay. I'll just give Mike 3 different Greg bullshit stories slash excuses, and they'll be so delightful. He won't,
Uh-huh.
he'll be helpless to do anything but forgive me. And then I forgot to come up with those, and then here we are. So
Uh-huh. Well, I've
we can laugh.
slowed down.
We can laugh about it now, but
Yeah. I've slowed down on my Cheers intake.
oh,
Yeah.
well, how
I
far along are you now? I'm
I'm
like up to
only I'm
17.
only up to episode 14
Okay,
in
so
season
yeah, I'm
1.
like 16 or 17.
But
Yeah,
it's settling into its groove.
yeah.
I mean, Diane is, each episode she seems to be showing up with a different book at the bar, which is, come on. I mean, that bar.
Women can't read.
I've never seen
I'm,
that
I'm
bar
I'm just trying
dead.
to. I'm just trying to get you canceled tonight.
I've never seen the bar dead yet. I mean, is there any episodes where like they can't believe how dead it is or anything like that?
Would you? Oh, you'd call what it usually is as like hopping,
Greg, I've worked an entire shift at Mass's Tavern
uh,
without one customer.
like
Six
between
hours.
7 and 10 o'clock.
No, this is in the afternoon. I was working the
There you
afternoons,
go.
12 to 6.
There you go.
Well, but no, Bayonne
Didn't
has
we
a
talk about this last week,
no,
Michaelis?
no, but Bayonne has a healthy daytime drinking population, or did. It may be waning now, but
But obviously, nothing really starts until um, after 5 o'clock because Norm and Cliff show up and they've been working all day. Like we
mhm,
kind of assume they have 9 to 5 jobs.
mhm. Well, there are times, I've gotten the impression that they're open earlier than that. So you're suggesting Cheers doesn't open until
No, I'm
later?
suggesting they just don't fucking show us until.
Okay, all
I'm sure
right,
it's
yeah, I
open
got you.
all afternoon.
Yeah,
Nobody's there, but
no, but I'm thinking, have they ever done an episode
no,
where like it's dead?
no,
No.
no. But I've never really like I don't really look at it and be like, wow, this bar is jumping really
Hmm.
either. But I would never say it's dead. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm sure they are open at 3 o'clock. If you want to watch 22 minutes of Coach staring out into space into an empty room, that is your.
Uh-huh.
We are living in America, Mike List. You can do
Uh-huh.
that if you want.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you're coming around to it at least.
It's interesting. I mean, I do wince. I don't think Norm is deserving of his
Wow.
full house cheer when he comes in.
I've never heard anybody
Yeah. Down
say
on Norm.
anything other than how great Norm is.
Yeah. No.
But
He
until he
hasn't impressed
ran
me.
in,
He hasn't
until he
impressed me
ran
yet.
into that Mike Lisk buzzsaw of indifference.
I'll take I think Cliff is more interesting than Norm.
Well, okay. I can't argue that he's more interesting in that. Yeah, he's an interesting.
He seems to
Yeah,
have a
no,
interest in.
Norm's just kind of a regular, cool for that group dude. Cliff, you do kind of want to sit down and study sometimes. Like, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
Yeah. he's got a little more to, his character. He's got, he seems to be curious about history, different things,
Yeah,
and
even though he's misguided.
yeah, but I mean,
But did you know how the story of how that character came about?
no.
You know that?
How did it come about?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna let you wallow in your embarrassment there for a
No.
minute. Well, John Ratzenberger. Initially, there was no character Cliff,
Right.
and John Ratzenberger went into audition for. I guess he auditioned for Norm, or
Uh-huh.
and so he does the audition, and he's leaving, and he's like, yeah, he could kind of tell it didn't go great. He's like
Hmm.
kind of bummed, and then he just turned to them and said, you know what this cast needs. Every bar has a know it all,
Yeah.
and boom, there you go, Cliff.
No, he's right about that. And the know-it-all, as annoying as a know-it-all can be, and we had one in Masses, and
Mhm.
he was one of the most annoying characters in there.
Were you?
What's that? No, it wasn't
See,
me.
Mike, I can still laugh.
Yeah,
Mike.
you got
That's
me.
what's
You
great
got me.
about me.
A
That's
little
what's
zinger.
great about me.
Uh-huh.
I can still laugh.
Yeah, yeah. But see, that's the difference between Cliff and Norm. Cliff is the know-it-all, and Norm to me is the quintessential regular guy, regular bar patron who's just like he's not that interesting, So you have to like tend to him and try and force a conversation, but it's unnatural.
There's
Um,
something to Noam now that you're talking about. There's something to him that is the opposite of Cliff, in that Norm has this kind of he's seen it all, kind of done it all. He's bored. He just wants his beer and to watch the game. Somehow he's kind of the hipster cool guy of the group. Um,
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I just watched an episode where he's trying to get out. His wife went up to Maine or something. They were having a little
right,
getaway, and he'd rather just sit at the bar and drink. So
right.
yeah, he's kind of a jerk.
But he does have this aura of cool about him for whatever reason. It's almost as if he is JFK to Cliffy's RFK, in that he's like the cooler one. He just kind of rolls his eyes at a lot of stuff. He's kind of like I said, kind of a hipster for that group. Whereas Cliffy's the kind of always yipping, like what's the little yippy dog, always
Uh-huh.
wanting to be in the mix. Uh, I think that's a pretty good analogy there. You should write that down. Got to get money
I'm
for it.
I'm gonna chew on it for a while.
Chew on
Yeah,
that. Chew on that.
you went deep there.
Chew on that. Yeah.
I'll watch a few more episodes with that in mind.
Yeah. I don't think that's crazy.
No, it's not crazy at all. Not crazy at all.
No.
So, did you get a cracker?
What do you fucking think?
Should I open one for you, or should you?
I need to remember to ask. Like
Well, yeah,
we talked about it last week, and then I forgot about it.
but that does seem to be a problem down there that they don't give them to you automatically, especially with takeout orders. You think
Yeah, I've never
they'd
run
be
into
on top
that.
of that?
I've never run into that until recently.
Uh, well, this one, wow, I got a long one.
Oh, that's what he said.
Best way to overcome temptation is to avoid the tempting situation. That is about the stupidest one I think I've gotten.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, don't want to get eaten by bear? Don't go to bear.
Don't go near a hungry bear.
Yeah, boom, blammo,
That one
fortune.
was so bad. I'm going to try another one.
Oh, you got two?
I got a whole bag of them here.
Is that bad luck?
I'm stockpiling them, man.
Really?
Maybe
You
I'll
need
send
a
some to
one.
you for Christmas.
Oh, don't you tease me, Moneyless.
Another long one. They're getting long-winded. Oh, this is as just as stupid. I think the same guy wrote this one. Life must be lived
President
forward.
Z?
What's that?
President Z? Zai?
Z. Life must be lived forward,
Yeah.
but can only be understood backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a lot of firepower there.
That fucking sucked.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for listening.
Can I tell you real quick
Oh, yeah.
little joke I had yesterday that I want to point out that I'm super proud of?
Oh, okay.
So yesterday, I don't want to make a big deal of this, but it was the 20th anniversary of me meeting Bruce Springsteen. Now, again, that's my private story.
I've only seen about 20 posts, social media.
Excuse me?
Go ahead.
I said, I was doing a couple of bullet points. I said that he chatted on and on about the previous night's show, which he was excited about because his old friend Bruce Hornsby, no relation, had joined him for a song.
Wow.
You like that? Bruce Hornsby, no relation, had joined him for a song.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that joke flip like that.
I don't think I get it.
Okay, well, that was going to be my follow-up question.
Are you alluding to Are you alluding to a Bruce Hornsby song, which I do not? I know he had some big hits.
No, like, you know how we'll be like, oh, Mike Lisk. Yeah, I was hanging out with Mike Lisk and Charlie Lisk, no relation. You don't do that with first names. You do that with last names. But in this case, I did it with the first name.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah.
Cracking up. So.
Oh, the Bruce. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought everyone could get a kick out of pointing it out, but it's been a big flop over the last 8 seconds. So
you should have tried it out on me first.
Boy, thought I opened the show. Boy, I thought I opened the show on a rough note, and ending with this fucking turn.
Yeah, that one.
Oh well.
See, yeah, maybe do that in the future. Work out all your new material on me.
Oh, okay. Run it by you. Should I run it by you? Run it by you. Have you?
I think this way, if it flops with me, it won't be as embarrassing, right?
No. Well, my next idea is next week. You just give me names of women, and I call them pigs.
No, come on.
That's a segment.
No, that's not right. Come on.
That's not right.
Let's clean it up.
Let's clean it up. Come on.
Okay.
2023, new Greg.
All right. This isn't the man show.
No.
Okay.
Just trying to. After that last joke bombed, I'm kind of flopping around here, buddy.
Okay, that's all right. You'll have time to recover very shortly.
Oh, a week.
I'd like to thank everybody for listening. Hit that subscribe button. We're almost at the 200 mark. Whoopee!
Whoopee! Yeah, do that. Subscribe. Do whatever Mike says. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.